HoneyBook is one of the most important tools that you're investing into your business. I didn't realize how important it was until I started my business, right? And I'll tell you a quick little story. When I started my business, we got our first 2 clients very quickly, and I realized that I'm not the most organized person. I think the whole world knew that. I'm not the most organized person. And I found a random Google invoice and I filled it out myself because I just needed to provide something to the client to look professional, right? I wanted to be a professional. I wanted to look like a professional company before I actually was one. So I created this invoice and I was like, man, where am I gonna save this invoice, right? I could have easily just saved it in a file section somewhere, but I knew I was gonna lose it just in case, I don't know, if I needed to give it back to somebody or maybe the IRS asked me. I have no idea. But I quickly realized, I was like, this isn't the right way to do it. So I immediately started looking for a tool that can make it a lot easier for me so I didn't have the hassle of trying to figure things out. So I found HoneyBook, and HoneyBook did everything all in one. It's a all-in-one platform. My clients can fill out the lead form. I can email them back and forth on the platform. I can send them an invoice. They can pay the invoice and I can track everything, right? But those are the 5 important things, right? I am going to create more videos about HoneyBook, how we're using it, because I think it's a tool that's very much underutilized. So this is the main HoneyBook dashboard, right? So you have your projects. This is where most of the magic happens, right? So in your project section, we have ours. This is a brand new HoneyBook profile, so it looks a little bit different than how ours look, but I definitely want to talk about how you're able to use this project section for getting your clients organized. So let's say, for example, with this generic pipeline, which can be customized, this is where your clients would go, right? So new would be obviously your leads, new clients, proposals would be the clients that you've contacted, contract signed, self-explanatory, right? These are clients that you've signed and onboarded. There's an onboarding section, planning, delivery. There's a lot of different things you can do in HoneyBook, and you can customize this. Sometimes I'll use the columns, which is this, where I can drag and drop different opportunities depending on where it is. But right now, this is the dummy account. I just want to give you a general overview of how it works. And this video is primarily for photo booth owners, but if you're not a photo booth owner, it's fine. I think this can still be of value to you. I'm just going to go over the different sections. This is the calendar section, super helpful when you do book a gig or if you're doing consulting. It automatically syncs into your calendar, and you can sync this calendar into your actual Gmail, your Apple Calendar. And it's really helpful because obviously you can see this connect calendar button here. It's really helpful because I don't have to manually go into my own phone and put everything into the calendar. HoneyBook automatically connects it, so I'm staying on track of the events that I have coming up or consulting meetings that I have. This section is for contacts. One of the things that I like about this, you can connect it to your Gmail account. So you can pull in all your contacts from a past CRM if you're using another one previously, and it makes it super easy. So right here, I can import from Google. I could do create new and type in people one by one. I wouldn't recommend that because it takes super long. I definitely recommend bulk import. Or even you can download it to an Excel sheet and upload all your contacts up into HoneyBook if it makes it easier. This is where the money happens, lead capture. The lead forms are super easy to use. Creating a template first makes it super easy. That's what I suggested. These lead forms are great. So you can do one-time consultations. They recently added this, which makes it really easy. As of 7/20/2026, they recently added this one-time consultation form, which honestly makes it a lot easier. Instant booking form, intro calls, mini session forms. And the reason why it makes it super easy is because it takes you from lead to payment very fast. That's what we want. We want to take customers from point A to point Z as fast as possible. And then we have contact forms. I don't really use contact forms as much. The reason why I like the lead forms is because there's so much more. I have so much more ability when it comes to the lead forms. And what I mean by that is I can do so much more with the lead forms when it comes to automations. And the automations in HoneyBook are absolutely amazing. So I'll go through how we're doing ours, and I'll give you an idea of what we're doing on the back end for our business. And then these are the files, right? These are where all your files are held. If I click create files, it gives me a lot of different options: contract, invoice, proposal, questionnaire, services, scheduler, custom. You're gonna be doing a lot of all of these. If I'm being honest, you're gonna use all of these. But we use a lot of proposals. This is what I mentioned earlier. Use a template first. And the reason why I say use a template first is because it gives you an idea of how to use HoneyBook, how to pull as much as possible out. If you go in from the get-go and just create your own, yes, it might be very custom, but you might be missing some of those super key features that might really help you save time. And then sometimes these templates look really nice, so designing it, you don't really have to worry about. This is the finance section. Finance section is great. This is how we track profitability, payments. You can add your expenses. I don't add the expenses because we like to track per event, and it makes it a little bit easier for us. So we track that outside. Capital, yes, HoneyBook does loans, if you didn't know that, and then QuickBooks. One of the things that I really like about this, we can connect it to QuickBooks, so it makes it really easy for us to get it to our bookkeeper so they can analyze our financials for the year. And then tax, you can add your own tax rates. You can get your forms from here, sales tax form, payments completed, refunds sent. So HoneyBook has you covered. One of the things I really like as well are some of the integrations. There's a lot of integration. Now, I wish HoneyBook had more. So HoneyBook, if you're listening to this, add some more integrations. But one of the main things is you can use Zapier if there's certain things that you want. So I use MailChimp, I use Gmail automations, Drive. But there's some connectors here. Oh, make sure you connect Canva. Canva is really great. Let's see, you can add multiple members. Oh, I really like this. I'm not getting ahead of myself. So one of the things is you can add team members to HoneyBook. So if you have a VA, if you have an assistant, you can add them to your HoneyBook, and you can set certain restrictions so they can't just go off the ledge and just do whatever they want. If you want them to control the pipeline, they can do that. If you want them to be able to upload contacts, you can do that. If you just only want them to send emails to the clients, then you can do that as well. You just need to pick the right moderation type, or you just have to pick the right coverage type that you actually want to give your team. And then, I'm sorry, let me go back to integrations or task. In the task section, we can add different tasks for our team members. So these tasks also play into the automations. I think the automations are really robust and it's what helped tie everything together, and it makes it super easy. I have a couple automations for my VA. If X is executed, it creates a task automatically that says, hey, make sure you complete this next. So it's really good. It keeps my team organized. There's time trackers, there's a library, there's batch emails. I don't recommend the batch emails. I feel like that can be a little spammy. And then we have the automations. So Automations 2.0 is the newest automation series from HoneyBook. Now, if you're newer to HoneyBook, you don't need to be doing the conditional automation. I would say stick with the simple stuff. Keep it simple until you're ready to make it more complicated. Don't make it hard on yourself, because when you do make it hard for yourself, then it's just like, oh, hey, I'm not gonna do this. But I'm gonna try to create some free automation forms for you guys to make it a little bit easier in your business. This is the report section. So this is where you're able to track how much money you've made throughout the year. This is how you check how many invoices, how many contracts. This is your data. You need your data to understand what's going on in the business. If you don't have the data, if you don't have the metrics, you have no idea what's going on. So make sure you try to review this either on a weekly basis, monthly basis. Just make sure you're staying on top of what's going on in your business. It's really important. So those are the really important things: the lead, the contract, the invoice, the payment, and then being able to track it. Those are the things that I really need in my business. And that's what's helped me grow to a 6-figure company in 3 years, right? So that's one of the things that I really want to keep in mind. And I do want to put some emphasis on that. This tool is super important in business. Even if it's not HoneyBook, you need a CRM tool that's going to allow you to do these things. And I think HoneyBook is one of the strongest tools out there to allow you to do so. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments. More than happy to answer your questions. I do read the comments and I answer back. So let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully this video brought some insight about the tool. And like I said, we're going to be creating a lot more content. So make sure you guys stay tuned.